The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey.
Players Lounge wishing you nothing but a fantastic 2024. Coming your way, first show of the year. Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, Barry
making a
Church.
good one.
I am Newey Scruggs. We are sponsored by Tostitos. Break out the Tostitos, ladies and gentlemen, because Sunday you had an opportunity to watch the Cowboys, who are a 13-point favorite at the Commanders, with the ability to win the NFC East, and the Commanders have zero reason to win.
That's true. No incentive.
The Commanders have no incentive to win because right now they hold on to the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. I know Ron Rivera is about to get fired, and maybe he want to go ahead and do the Lovie Smith.
Hit him with the Smith. Hit him with the Smith.
You know, so I did check. I checked with my Washington contact on it. He's like, dude, these dudes getting up. These dudes don't care.
They in Vegas.
They got the flights booked.
Well, only for like they trying to stay healthy, get out this thing alive, so you get ready. But anyway, that's true. Heckman, I want to start with you, my man, because the Cowboys are about to win the NFC East, sir.
Never gave you the only one.
I give you something.
I knew that was coming.
You know it's coming, dog. Hey, listen,
called it.
We've been talking about all this five. We've been talking about, five and all that, but we've been on the same page when we talk about the fact that the Cowboys need a home game. This team from the beginning of the season.
Us three.
Okay.
Been on the same
That's
page.
how.
He in a different book.
Okay.
He want to go on the road.
This team from the beginning of the season, and you can go all the way back to last season, they have not lost at home since Tom Brady beat them at home first game of the season last year. And look, this is one of those things where we talked about Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde on this team, home and away. This is why winning the NFC East is so important. And I guess that statistic about the NFC East not having a back-to-back champion since I don't know what the number is,
05 or something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like this division is so lopsided when it comes down to who will dominate the next season. But hey, it played out.
Let it play out.
It played out, Newey. And Arizona and Kyler Murray gave us the biggest Christmas gift, New Year's gift. Hey, we went. I'm saying I'm putting if on this because I'm not counting chickens before they hatch.
Please.
All right, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
But man, we got to send them a hat and a T-shirt when we win
Send
this
it to
thing,
'em.
man. We got to send them one at FedEx, man. We got to send that.
Shout out to Kyler, man. I think Kyler Murray gonna come back in there. He gonna put some pressure on you, man.
Yep.
And him and James Conner, they went out there and did their thing.
You send one to Matt Patricia too now.
Oh, absolutely. We send him too.
He got to go. He got to go.
Keep him. Keep him.
I told you when they went to him with the panic move. Why do that?
Keep him.
Gosh, he's bad.
That ain't it.
I mean, if Kyler doesn't throw the doggone pick, he gave him 7 right there.
Yes.
$46 million, boy, that man came through for it. But, they beat Philly. They beat Dallas. I mean, they might want a little taste of that NFC championship hat, too.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get him right.
They need it.
Right.
Shout out to them. Hey, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Did you kept the NFC East winners after the reshuffle?
I don't know.
We done gave him all these props.
I think you did.
I thought I did too. It's been a lot going on, dog.
You want to be honest with it, though. You didn't want to get caught slipping later.
Because I know you'll go back and look at the tape.
You know you're going to get the receipt.
Like a lawyer, he asked the question, he already knew the answer.
You know what I'm saying? We're not going to get caught slipping with this.
I learned it from you. Baseball, Dusty Baker.
Yeah, that's true, too.
I learned it by watching you.
Hey, CB, can you get us back up to date on on, how we thought that the season would play out after the bye week came, and just to see where we're at. Because congratulations, because you did keep it, and you picked it from the beginning, and we was laughing at you.
It's all, man. Hey, it's me.
Yeah, we was laughing.
Oh, crazy.
We was laughing. You should have made that bet though.
I should have made 2. I should have made 2. 20 off the plane and the NFC. That's all right.
He begged you to make the NFC.
I was trying to give
When
you
they say scared money don't make no money. That's what they say.
Now, can we be fair and say that we still need to go ahead and win this game?
Yes.
Yeah, we have had opportunities before, like before the game started. You go in there and you say we got to beat Washington to make sure that if everything else falls in place, that we get what we want and then go out there and fumble the bag. So we still.
And that was why I tried to capture the incentive of Washington. This number 2 pick is so valuable. Chicago locked up the number 1 pick, so that's where they're at. So you've got Washington, New England, I can't remember who's right behind them. They've all got the same record, but Washington can go ahead and lock this thing up. And the value in being number 2 this year is massive if you want to keep it or if you want to trade it. So if I'm Josh Harris and ownership, I'm going to Ron Rivera. Hey, man, we need to see some young guys.
But what's the so if they do miraculously win, how far down do they drop? Like, is it from 2 to all the way you get to the 6th pick, or is it 2 to?
You could be 2 to 4.
Yeah. Which
2 to 4.
Which you don't get a.
They got a few guys in there that, man, because watching the game last night, Buddy's nice. My left hand, Penix.
Yes.
Penix Cole.
He's nice. You got Jane Daniels, Caleb Williams. You got some guys in there if you're looking for a quarterback who you say, because you already know it's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 2, 1 after the combine and all that. Yeah. There's going to be another guy to pop up who nobody ever heard of, Daniel Jones and those guys, and then you're going to end up just like that if you keep fooling around.
And so my point of being number 2, Danny, is you want to have the flexibility. You look at what Chicago got last year in making that trade with Carolina, who moved up to number 1. So you got their pick. You didn't even have to be well this year because Carolina was so bad. So you got their pick and but if you're sitting at number 2, you're going to have a whole lot of power, which is why when I think about the Cowboy game being a 13-point favorite, Washington's got no incentive. The Cowboys have every incentive. Everybody need to go out. Hey, man. You know what we need. We know what you need. Let's go out there and do this thing.
See, but as a player,
the player not gonna do that.
Brissett ain't gonna go out there and try to toss that thing away.
He couldn't even play last week. So
Please start Brissett.
This is what ownership like. He better not be out there. Better not be out there. This is where ownership has to get involved. All the ownership got to do is look up Houston when Lovey did them. It worked out for Houston. But
it sure did.
They had to make trades and whatnot because Lovey didn't help them out. But if you are Washington's ownership, this is your ability to not only get the number 2 pick, give yourself options, but you're going to fire the GM, you're going to fire the head coach. You can do a true reset here.
Is this what Flores was beefing about in Miami?
The ownership coming down. That's gonna be hard to do. Yeah. Cowboys should win, just because on football alone. But it's gonna be hard to have those guys go out there and not want to give it they all, not want to go out there and get the job done.
Some of those dudes are playing for next year to be healthy, but then also put it on tape. Yeah. Like we know we all getting released, okay? So I need to make sure.
Okay, so if you inactive.
Flores looking at
inactive, or you just don't get to play that day. Management has ways to go out and get things done. But heck, man, there's no incentive by Washington to win, and there's every incentive by the Cowboys to win this game.
No, y'all don't trust it. I don't trust it. I think I'm on the same train with y'all, and that's why we can only control what we can control. We control our guys, and that's where I know this thing is layered going into the last week, depending on what Washington does. And it would be great if they played at 12 o'clock. And then instead of playing at the same time, because the decision would be made for us. But you got to go out there and take care of business. You got to win this game every week. Is this a must? Is this a must win? Yeah. This is the must win. So for the Cowboys, how do you, as Mike McCarthy, being the leader of this team, how do you layer with your team and say, all right, we're going to rest this guy, we're going to start this guy?
But nobody rested.
Yeah, ain't nobody rested.
Everybody go. Everybody go. Ain't nobody rested.
Okay, so that's what made
hurt you was playing.
That's all I'm asking.
No, all hands on deck.
Once again, so when I say Washington has no reason to, Dallas has every reason to. Everybody playing.
Yeah.
Everybody playing. You know, you better get up 20 off the plane. But
Yes, sir.
24, 25 off the plane on this one. I mean, you have to come at these dudes from the jump, beat them into submission, and make them want to quit.
Yeah.
No, make sure you go. I mean, you're the Cowboy. I mean, and this is you guys are Danny, Barry, you're the former players. I mean, should be one in the locker room real quick. Hey, beat them down from the kickoff.
Yeah, all they got to do is show. Was that last year when they went to Washington and Sam Howell went? All you got to do is throw that tape on. If you McCarthy, you bring them all to the team meeting room and you throw on that last year's tape where we had, or the Cowboys had incentives to win that game. Yeah. All the starters were playing. Dak, everybody was out there playing, and they ended up getting stomped by the Commanders. You don't want that same situation coming back into this game, especially with the ramifications of being either the number 2 seed or possibly the number 2 seed, or you can go all the way down to fifth, and you don't want no problems with that. So if I'm McCarthy, I'm showing them boys, this is exactly what happens when you overlook an opponent. Yeah, they have no incentive to go out there and win this game because you want the earlier pick, but you got to show them that. You got to.
By the way, God bless Chris Beam for giving us the sheet each week. Washington's not won since week 9. Not New England.
Wow.
This is the definition of what you've been speaking about the entire season when you talk about trap. Yeah. And not trap because you don't think the guys are good. It's so much on the line. Coming out of Washington saying, hey, man, them dudes, we don't know, number 2. Because we hear it, but then also other people know it. They got friends on the team. Yeah. Friend might be like, hey, man, I'm trying to get to Vegas. And then before you know it, you walk out there on a field where you thought, because of how you played before and what they don't have to play for, that it's going to be easy. And you get a couple guys out there who's like, hey, I'm not standing down on nothing. And before you know it, you in a fight. All right, because like it happens, it's the league. We've seen teams go out there against teams that we knew they should have lost, and then you look up on Monday morning, you're like, hold on, the score was what?
And this is where your head coach has to step up. So Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn, Brian Schottenheimer, Lunda Wells, everybody involved on the coaching staff has to let everybody know the importance of this. Now, there have been rumblings about Mike McCarthy and an extension. Yeah. What's a good way to go ahead and lock up an extension for yourself right now?
Win the division.
The job done. Win the division.
Win the division. 3 straight 12-5 seasons. So, I mean, there's so much incentive around here for the football team. And we talked before about your hopes and dreams. Okay? You guys are absolutely right in terms of them playing at home. They went 8-0 at home this year. Potential for 2 games. Everything you want is here. And, oh, by the way, what if somebody just beats the 49ers for you? It could happen. So if you're the Cowboys, everything you want is sitting right here.
Now, I was under the impression that the 49ers had already locked up one.
They did.
They said somebody knocked them out.
Okay, yeah. No, I got you. Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. They still got to play a game, a divisional game, and Now,
that Commanders game, Commanders and the 49ers just played. That correct? Did anybody watch that game?
That was a tough game. It was in that game.
It was 10-10. And then as you got on deeper into it, they started rolling. It was a competitive game. So, I like, and Trent Williams played. I know we was all they were healthy, and they went out there. And at the beginning of the game, I was like, look at Washington might mess around and help us out over here too, man. And that's when I sent the tweet the text about Arizona. Like, look at Kyler. Before you know it, everything will fall into place. But we'll take the 1 out of 2, and we'll take the 2 seed. We'll take that. Just go ahead and handle your business. Yeah. 2 home games?
So hopes and dreams are right here. If I were a player, I would be very excited this week. You did your part. Everything is cool. By the way, even as I walked in here, I keep hearing people like all week long, man, boy, that referee took care of the Cowboys, didn't they? Referee took care of the Cowboys. And I'm like, yeah. That referee, Brad Allen, they went to college together.
Another one of your guys.
Baby. What a hug right before the game.
Hey, just because I just want to get this in, okay? I want to get this in. I want to get this in, because it's already rolling, okay? This is a chance for the Cowboys to shut up all the naysayers. No.
Let a naysayer know.
Hey, man.
Let a naysayer know. Let them know. We got the NFC East on the line. 2 home games. We ain't lost at home.
Let a naysayer
Let the naysayers know, man.
By the way, Bill O'Brien looking at that last play like, I told you. Bill O'Brien looking at that last play. What is Alabama doing? Really, Tommy Reese?
Roll Tide, huh?
That's the roll tide. Roll right on home.
They did the quarterback power.
That's the play. That's it.
That's all they had.
Season on the
From
line.
the 6.
That's all they had.
It was kind of open though. My man ran up.
Yeah, he went to the left.
The guard came across and he got a clear path. But yeah, I thought he was gonna do the T-O pass or something. Something.
Buy some time or something.
I'm sitting here in the restaurant. He's like, that's the play.
That was it.
That's the play. By the way, Danny, I know I owe you. Since Two Sisters out of business,
yeah.
I believe I found a replacement.
Okay, is it in Arlington?
No.
Okay.
No.
I had to drive to Arlington on a Wednesday night.
It's in Irving. A little shorter.
Wow. It's in Irving.
It's in
Let's say Las Colinas.
25.
That's where it is, actually.
Just a little bit past Las Colinas.
That's a good
What's the name of
25
this
minutes.
establishment?
Poe Melvin's, man.
Poor Melvins.
Poe
Melvins.
Poe Melvin's.
They got Po Boys, huh?
Yes, sir. I had one. I you know what? I sampled the menu for you. So, remember that fried pork, the pork chop you had my kid and I go eat down there in Baton Rouge? So he did a fried pork chop. Tasty as heck, and I'm not a big pork chop guy, but I was like, so I'm tasting this menu because I know I owe Danny. There's some things here on the
He's
menu.
gonna pay for it too.
Which
Is it free? Do you are you going to set me up for a free meal? Are you pulling out your wallet?
We pulling out our wallet.
All right, just making sure you got to check these days.
You know, the owner is a personal friend of mine. So
The name of the spot is Poor Melvin. Excuse me, Poe Melvin.
He's from New Orleans.
Hey, check it out. That means the menu pretty much tops is $26 is the highest thing on there.
There's no Two Sisters was the same.
Okay.
wow.
The po' boy is $12.56.
Old Melvin.
$12.99.
He said I can sample the menu.
Yeah, there you go. Come on.
Wow.
You know he went in there and said, you know who I'm bringing in there.
No, I didn't. I was there for me, for the Black Eyed Peas, but then I just started to think, I do owe Danny.
Yeah. As long as you pull your wallet out, I'm good.
I'll pull it out, man. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, man, you know.
I know you grateful. I know you
I'm
grateful.
gonna let a naysayer know when I go ahead and bring him in here. So
I don't know.
I almost got caught right there, but I got you.
Don't pull a heck.
Fine. If that's what you need, that's fine. I'll do that.
No, I'm good. You listen. You did it the right way when we went to Papados. All right, because you lose multiple bets. You know, so you did it the right way when we went to Papados. You pulled your wallet out, and you pull your wallet out again.
And you see, I'm still. See, I just didn't forget about it. I'm like, let me find it. It was Cajun restaurant, something that this Danny McCray approved.
Yeah.
So do that. So
I'm down. Irving ain't bad. Arlington, goodness. I
Still about
gotta find out. Yeah.
About 25.
No, Arlington is just different.
about
Something
40.
about knowing I gotta
think
drive.
like church. Remember last time we went over to back the Hex spot?
Which one? Oh yeah, you talking about the knife?
Who paid for your food?
Heck.
No,
With me.
Oh
PLC.
man, you. Oh yeah, my boy.
See,
Hey,
so I pulled the wallet.
I forgot
out.
when we went
You
to
see,
lunch.
I got-
You're right.
Yeah. Well, we're not talking about you. You're not the one under investigation.
I'm not under
You ain't
investigation.
under investigation.
Hey, what are you talking about? I went and handled business. How you gonna fine dining experience? You know, Shore Bay brought to the table. What was that you ordered? What was that you ordered before you knew
Carpaccio.
Carpaccio? You know, who does that?
They had that come
Heck, let a naysayer know.
I ordered. Hey,
By the way, as we go to break, the last time I was at one of the last times I was at Two Sisters before it closed out, Lyle Collins was leaving.
All right.
Today, Lyle Collins may be coming back. Let's talk about that next right here on the Players Lounge with Barry Church, Heckma Harrison, Danny McCray, Newey Scruggs, DallasCowboys.com radio.
Go Tigers.
Lay out and shut down Twin Sisters.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie Bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
There is no I in Dallas. There is no I in Hart either. No I in Blue Star or in Lone Star for that matter. And there's no I in how about them Cowboys? Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together because there's definitely no I in Cowboys fans. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Hey, Happy New Year. Players Lounge right here on DallasCowboys.com radio. Here at the Star, where the Cowboys headquarters are located, and everything the Cowboys want is in front of them. Right now, gentlemen, the 49ers have locked up the number 1 seed with a win on Sunday. The Cowboys win the NFC East. They lock up the number 2 seed, which means they will have a home playoff game. Win that game, you got another home playoff game. And if somebody happens to beat the 49ers, could have the NFC championship game in Jerry World. So all your hopes and dreams are right there.
They're right there. They're right there. And this team, I think they have the opportunity to seal it up. We all understand that coming up with this Washington thing. But for me going forward, Washington, hopefully we get that thing knocked out, whatever it is. Going forward, defensively, we got to get better in the situationals. You got to. I understand taking the football away. Taking the football away is great. And I understand if you win a turnover battle 9 times out of 10 times, you're going to win that game. We all understand that. But this is 2 weeks in a row now where situationally this defense has got, basically. Yeah. You go back to Miami. We all sat up here and said, hey, Miami, all they needed was a field goal. Offensively, you should say, all right, man, we might be able to concede that. We might be able to concede that. So you look at that, the last drive, they needed to stop. They weren't able to get the stop. Whatever the case may be, face mask, penalty, whatever the case may be, they weren't able to get that stop. Fast forward to last week. Once again, situationally, there was an opportunity for this defense to go out there, make a stop, game over, call it a wrap. Goff had the whole field to drive. Yeah. We should be able to make that stop. What happened? We said field goal, that was a little push. They needed a touchdown. Yep. Not only that, if ifs was a fifth, 2-point conversion, they had it right there as well. So to me, going forward defensively, because there's going to be those games in the postseason where, they'll get 3 or 4 takeaways, but it might still come down to this one drive. And defensively, we saw it the past 2 weeks, for whatever reason, they aren't able to get these stops. And to me, going forward, that's got to be something where you're like, hey, defense, 2-minute drill, whatever the case may be, God. You got to be able to shore that up. Because you're not going against bums at quarterback going from now on. You're not after this Washington game.
You have to, because I was field goal, all that stuff last week.
Go ahead.
You're right. And I'm ahead. And I'm watching, and I'm like, I'm waiting for it because I'm like, okay, now they need a touchdown.
Yeah,
okay,
that's it.
This your opportunity. All right, this your opportunity. You got Jared Goff back there. Defense has been playing fairly well for the game. You got an opportunity now to go out here and make sure they don't score a touchdown, and you don't get it done. And I think that is a mark. Like last week was but that's 2 weeks in a row. It's like it's starting to become a mark of like, hey man, I'm going to be nervous at every 2-minute drill before the half, at the end of the game. If we not up by 9, then I don't know what type of confidence I have in us being able to stop an offense in that type of situation, knowing the offenses that you may be facing in the playoffs. That is something that you do need to get fixed. I don't know how, because I don't know what was called and all that stuff. But those mojo moments when you at practice and you're going through 2-minute drill, those are times when you have to figure out a way not to let them into the end zone, because it is so much harder to score a touchdown in that situation than it is to score a field goal. And you got the players on defense to do it. I just don't know what's happened over the last 2 weeks when you played 2 of the better offenses in the National Football League. But you cannot give up a touchdown in that situation. But thankfully, shout out to that offense. Shout out to that offense, man. That's why I said we not historically and all that stuff. Now, offense has to be playing well. Both of them have to be playing well in order for us to go where we want to go.
Heckman, your thoughts when you actually sent us the tweet. La'el Collins working out for the Cowboys today.
Yeah, I just think about guys like Josh Ball, how bad that whole thing must be. Walesko, the guys like that, Chuma Edoga, and what the offensive line coaches and just staff are dealing with right now. You're in a situation, especially with Tyler Smith being hurt, where you're worried about the left guard position. And I think that's where it is. When you say I see him as left guard, I do too. I don't see him as a tackle. I see him as a guard. And strangely, oddly enough, that's where I thought he was better suited when he came out of college, when they had him at guard, but they made him a right tackle. Look, my thing is this. No matter what you do, this last game is utmost important to me. He is a guy that I know that can give you some depth there, but I'm firmly believing in T.J. Bass at this point, the guy that's at left guard. Now, I don't know about a plantar fasciitis. I know you guys have been broken up over your career, so I don't know if you've had this.
I ain't had that.
You ain't had that? Okay. So, but I know it's painful. You know, I know it's painful, but I know it's something that they're saying that he can deal with. My thought process on him is sit him, okay? Sit him, because I don't want to either make it worse, irritate, or wherever it can go. We absolutely need our everything left guard to show up. Yeah. We need that. But I was thinking about you during the game, dog, and I said, my man D-Max, he's hanging by a thread. He's hanging by a thread with that Quinn and that defense because you're right, situationally, you know what's going on, but it's like, come on, DQ, now don't call that again. You know they're going to pick up on that. Don't go man right here. You know, and it's those situations that I think, I know it's still in DQ. We trust.
Yeah.
It's you still there. I just feel like our defense, at some point, the warts that they can't cover up, they have to compensate in other areas.
Taking the ball away or something.
You got to compensate. You got to compensate in other areas because teams are understanding. Man, you're light. You light up front. You light, and they're gonna and when they can take advantage of what you have, they do. And like you just said, you're not gonna come up against any cupcake offensive lines that are gonna be that's gonna let you get away with that unless you're playing with a lead. And I'm just saying, 40 points at the crib, I want to be home.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna continue to say this, okay? You hold a team. No. Listen, no. With all that being said, you're right, and you got to be able to stop. You got to be able to stop them in that situation. In the NFL, okay, if you are holding a team to 19, 22 points, and you got all these weapons on offense, and you need to be able to score more than that, okay? Because I'm still saying this, you're not a historically great defense, all right? So I'm not expecting you to be able to shut a team out. But it's up. Hey man, we got Dak, we got CD, we got TP, we got Brandon Cooks. You got to be putting up more than 20.
Somebody.
And they did. They scored one more than.
You know what I have to say?
They scored one more than they needed to. But shout out to that tripping call. We all talking about when they be in the situation. Shout out to the tripping call. How many points they got? Come on now, they balling out there.
You know what I had to say to it, Danny?
What? Let it play out.
Let it play out.
Let it play out.
Let it play out. That's all we got to do, man. Let it play out.
125 yards rushing.
Damien Wilson, former linebacker with the Cowboys, also is in for a tryout.
Well, Damien.
Yeah, well, you're a former player. Teammates. Thoughts on that?
When I was playing with him, he was a good player. I mean, he was one of them special teams cats that, run through a brick wall, and then he got some time to play on the defensive side of the football, and he really took advantage of it. So I didn't really get to see him much last year. I believe Chris Bean told us he played for Carolina, I want to say. I didn't really see much on him last year, but when he was here and when he was with Kansas City and they won that Super Bowl, I think he was a stud linebacker.
Yeah, he was a young guy, very young when I was here. So he was my special teams guy. But he was one of those dudes. So I don't know much about him on defense, but then if you put him in there on special teams and he's going to have a role there as well, then I think he helps you out, especially with some depth at linebacker.
That's all I care about.
I think you need that. And the same thing we talked about Tyler Smith earlier. I think the La'el Collins thing it shores you up in a few spots because Tyron Smith is great, okay, but you never know when something may happen. Then you had an opportunity. You had a situation where with Zach Martin. right? And then now you lose Tyler Smith. You like, we need more depth at that position. And it's late in the season.
One spot. Helps you at one spot.
They gonna throw him out there. He's better than Peters.
He at one spot at guard. That's all he needs to be.
No. I'm saying if something else were to have, we have had issues. You need at least a body to put in there because there's some guys we just don't trust to go in the game.
Just a few. Real quick, what's the name went off? Hutchinson? He went off, man.
Everybody
he's a player.
Make no mistake about it.
He's a good player.
Number 97 is the real deal. And the secondary, they gave up 220, whatever they gave up to CD. But other than that, man, they were playing some outstanding ball on defense. They had some broken plays, obviously, that I don't know, 55 must be with the Gambino crime family. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know how he missed that one. That one went straight in there like, where he at? Where he at? Oh, there he is.
How do you miss that?
Man, how
do you miss
that one? Boy got skinny on it.
How you getting small? Small? You can't get what?
Oh, I'm watching that on film as a coach, and I'm upset. And that's the play when you don't get vision. You like, oh God, I got
7-point play right there. 7-point play.
How just happened? And now the DB so mad at you because they looked like they was in zero. There was nobody back there.
Nope.
It's just him.
How do you miss that? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, that's one of those crazy things that happen in football that's unexplainable. We'll take it. But no, that defensive line, their team like in general. I was really impressed with the Lions. That's a tough squad. Yeah. I didn't understand. I'm telling you, Dan Campbell confused me. I'm serious. I'm like, man, if somebody have a spell on this dude, why don't ownership call down to the sideline and say to him, kick the field goal. Yeah. Kick the field goal. And I know that took away from what you would have been talking about Mike McCarthy there at the end of the game and him throwing those passes instead of running the ball to run the clock out, the tripping penalty and all of that. But you're at a point where coaches are just blowing games with bad decisions.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask all y'all real quick. In that situation, we're talking about the last play, the 2-minute thing. All right, understandable. You don't get it the first time for whatever reason. You get another opportunity. All right, you end up going for it again. It's offsides or whatever it was for the second 2-point conversion. At that point,
God is telling me something.
You got to kick, right? In my opinion, you got 2 and you going to go for it again. I got to kick it on that one.
You should. I feel like the man had this, like, he already knew this was how it was going to play out if he got in that situation up during the week. We going up to Dallas. We playing on the road. We got a chance to win it. I don't care, and I'm not getting off that bus. Yeah. I'm not getting off that bus. And he stuck with it. Then one worked. So in his mind, he's like, I got another one that'll work. And he helped us out. So shout out to him.
That was weird.
Yeah, I would have kicked that.
That was probably one of the weirdest moments in football that I've ever had. Where I'm watching the guy, you get the penalty, you move back, you're at the 7-yard line, and you still elect to go. I mean, like,
and then you get saved again. Then you get like,
sums up. I don't know. That was a weird situation.
I went to his press conference after the game because I just wanted to hear the explanation. And so they're asking him, and he's trying to be all mad every time. I'm frustrated, and it's like, bro, you messed up. Just come on out and just say it. You can say whatever you want about the rest, but you, as a decision maker, messed up. Yeah. Because after the 2, it's time to go ahead. Kick the point, going after, take it to overtime. But his old bravado and all that kind of ego wouldn't let him do it. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like sitting there just listening to this whole thing, and then they kept it short, and the PR guy was trying to protect him, and he left. But he didn't want to really be accountable for his decision as a head coach to just simply say, okay, we tried it, let's abort, make an adjustment. We have to make an adjustment now and move on out of this. But hey, he'll be okay because everybody in Detroit is fine from the standpoint that they are NFC North champs. They're spending the whole week saying how they got robbed, and he's basically going to be let off the hook for pulling a Brandon Staley here and not using wise judgment.
He did.
The expectation in Detroit is a little low. All right, so the fact that they won the North in the first time, and I don't know how long, and they hosting a home playoff game. I think at that point it's like we playing with house money. I still think it's a horrible decision.
But Danny, you're right.
It's a horrible decision.
Danny, you're absolutely right, because that was the thing that really shocked me when he came in and said, I went to the referee. I showed them exactly what we were going to do. I told them how many guys were going to walk up to and report, and we did exactly that. So they already had that play circle. They knew how they were going to try and execute it. And when it didn't work according to the plan, after he had already explained it, I think that's what he was livid about. That, man, I already told you I was about to try some trickeration, and you ain't let the play go down.
It's called chasing it.
Let
me get my money back.
And then that's what I'm saying. Well, if it don't work the first time, then go ahead and kick the field goal, take the 2 point. I mean, take the PAT, and then go into overtime. But I just thought that was crazy.
Yeah. Let's get a break in here. There's a running back who's about to become a free agent. Jerry Jones said on his radio show today he has a concern about the running game. Let's dive into that next with Barry Church, Heckman Harrison, Danny McCray, New Scrubs. Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. Hashtag be your own boss.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
All right, this comes from Tom Pelissero.
You're muted.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the new year.
How's that? Sorry about that. He turned that because Shannon's in here before me. And I don't know if Shannon has a hearing problem, but it's blasted.
Jay, we're checking, man. Point fingers.
Shannon
called him by name and everything.
Got a random. He just walking in the street.
I'm Shannon, but man, I come in here. It's
White chalk.
It's like, bam. So I'm like, so I hit the mute button. So my bad.
That man start pointing fingers.
Anyway, Tom Pelissero of NFL.com has put out on social media 4-time Pro Bowl running back Dalvin Cook and the Jets have mutually agreed to part ways, allowing Cook the opportunity to play for a playoff team per his agency, LA Sports Entertainment. So, based on what is being reported, he could potentially become free. I bring this up because Jerry Jones on his radio show today said he does have a concern for the Cowboys running game, which we can't remember the last time they had 100 yards in a game, and I can't tell you the last time I think Tony Pollard's had 100 yards. I can't really remember it. So, Dalvin Cook, would you entertain him if you are the Cowboys based on this tweet from NFL.com's Tom Pelissero?
No. I mean, listen, there's a reason why he couldn't crack the lineup up there with the Jets. They were trying to get that figured out. He was frustrated. Never really got a chance to get going. And I don't think he's better than Tony Pollard. Yeah. When I'm looking at a guy like Tony Pollard, I don't want to then take touches away from him because you want to see now what Dalvin Cook can do. I don't want to see that. If we're gonna figure out a way to fix our running game, the guy that we paying $10 million to, that's the guy that we need to try to figure out how to get going. I don't even want those questions to be like, or give 7 more carries to this dude. Man, only getting 16.
Look, I'm going to say it like this. Dalvin Cook made a mistake by going to the Jets anyway. He thought that Breece Hall was hurt. Breece Hall came back better than ever. The truth is that once Breece Hall got burned, they looked over at Dalvin like, what are you here for? And they let him make that money all the way through the season and cut him at the end of the season because he wasn't going to get no burn anyway for whatever incentive was there if he was on the roster or whatever. But look, at this point, y'all, we've got to be genuinely concerned about our running game. Last week, you were talking about touches, where Tony Pollard was going to be. I was saying, hey, we just need him to mimic some other guys on other teams that never got that production either.
I'm not going to say it.
No, go ahead. You don't forget nothing.
I'm not going to say it. It's over.
But it's one of those. We're in a situation right now, as you have mentioned, when you're going deep into the playoffs, especially, I'm just talking about at this point, San Francisco. You have to have a guy that can control the ground. You have to. And we're at the point right now, especially with all the conversations that we've had about CD. 13 for 227 and 2 touchdowns. He only had one, but the one that went through the end zone on a touchback. That's the kind of game you need from CD in Candlestick or in Levi Stadium. Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to have to go off if we don't have a running game. And right now, you can't trust your running game. No. And that's why I think that just to milk the clock, the end of the game, Mike McCarthy could not depend on a running game to at least make them burn timeouts, at least put them into a situation where, look, they're scrambling to try and at least get a few seconds. That's what a good running game would do for you, Yeah. And I'm saying no also because, again, it's an unknown. I don't know. I don't know if Dalvin has it. But at the same time, we've got to figure out a way over the next 5 weeks, because that's what we're playing for, the next 5 weeks to get to Vegas. It's going to be with at least 25% better than what we get in the running game right now.
Yeah, I'm going to make it 3 out of 3. I'm saying no when it comes to Dalvin Cook. And it's just simply because I don't believe – not only is he not better than Pollard, I don't think he's, better than Rico if we look at it, throughout this season and what we've seen from both players. I think Rico is a better option. Is a better option right now than Cook is. And that's what it really comes down to because, I can't defend my guy anymore. Tony Pollard, trying to stand on the table saying we need to give him more carries. They gave him the opportunities and you just, nothing came to fruition when you talk about that Detroit game and what they were able to do on the ground. So to me, if there was a guy out there that maybe could be better than Rico, then for sure I say kick the tires on him. But to me, I don't think Cook gives you a better option than Rico Dowdle at this point. So I stick with those two guys.
So I'm going to disagree with all three of you.
Okay.
From the 5-yard mark in, it's been a problem.
That's true.
Pollard hasn't been able to fix it. Rico Dowdle hasn't been able to fix it. Could Dalvin Cook be that person? And if Dalvin Cook is a guy with his bigger body can find a way to get you in on first and goal from the 5 or the 3 or the 2 or the 1 versus Hunter Lipke, then let me see what Dalvin Cook can do because the red zone has been an issue. Maybe they win that game in Miami if Dalvin Cook is getting the football.
Absolutely.
That's where I look at it as. And I'm not trying to replace Pollard. I'm not trying to necessarily replace Rico Dowdle. But I am going back to what Skip Pete talked about, why Pollard was effective in just having that thunder lightning thing. There's no thunder for the Cowboys right now. They don't have a hammer. It got so bad that with a hammer, you sitting up here asking Hunter Lipke to go do it.
Yes. Deuce Vaughn comes in last game, 2 carries, 2 yards. You're not.
I mean, that's not enough. That's not enough.
No, that's not enough.
No, that's not enough. But he did have 1 catch for 10.
Yes.
Like, you want to find somebody to get in the passing game? Yeah, I don't know. Can you go wrong with it? Yeah,
for me, at this point in time, that's what I'm looking at. I mean, we all agree they got an issue from the 5 yards on in, right?
They do, but then you're taking a spot from a guy that can possibly play teams because Dalvin Cook's not going to go out there and play teams. Let's just say they get Collins and Cooks. You got 2 guys, veteran guys that won't play teams that are taking up, roster spots for other guys out there. Is having a, goal line back more important than having somebody that
I also don't consider Dalvin Cook a goal line back. But he may run harder than Tony Pollard. But I mean, there were weeks where we were like, look at Tony Pollard, right? Where you was like, oh man, look how hard Tony Pollard's running, all that stuff. I just don't know about Dalvin Cook. Maybe because I got a little fantasy trauma, fantasy football trauma.
We're not asking for 20 points. We're not asking for 20 points.
No. It was worse. It was he wasn't doing nothing on the goal line either. They started putting Madison in there on the goal line, fooling with Dalvin Cook. But I guess we'll see what type of moves they make. But
for me,
we're a passing team, dog.
For me, that's my issue right now.
We're a passing team. Can we run the ball when we need
inside
to?
Inside the 5, you've got a problem right now.
Put the quarterback in run the situation. Get you some read option. Get that figured out. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not saying have the threats of him running the football. No.
That's what I thought I heard.
That's not what I said.
Listening to the owner today on this show.
We ran quarterback lead. Okay, we ran read option so far this season. If you need to figure out a way to tush push,
with Dalvin Cook in there, it could be better. That's all I'm saying. I would be looking at it, and it'll be interesting.
You would kick the tires.
Oh, without a doubt, because I've got an issue. Michael Gelkin had raised the question to Mike McCarthy a couple weeks ago about, got issues from the 5. And he tried to duck and dodge around, try to protect his players. But even after this season, that's something that's got to be addressed.
Oh, it will be.
So if you have the ability right now and you're talking about trying to go deep in the playoffs, I don't see how you can ignore this issue right now with a player like this, according to his agent, about to be released. You have to pick up the phone. If you're gonna tell Lel Collins to come through and Damien Wilson to come through, why wouldn't you tell Dalvin Cook, hey man, come on through?
That makes sense.
And so I know what you're saying about special team spot, but I go back to that Miami game. If you get a ball Dalvin Cook and he scores,
so yeah, that's true.
A whole different deal. And it's a small thing. But small things are big things in the playoffs.
No, this is also finishing off runs, finding the right hole, having vision, and when we start talking about those two players, I think I would trust Cook over his career has been one of those players that's had better vision. Sometimes when I'm watching Tony Pollard, I'm like, man, where are you going? Like and I'm sure the coaches are seeing the same thing. And so that's why you've had this steady rotation in between him and Rico Dowdle. And it's not that Rico Dowdle is that much more of a running back than he is. I don't see the drop off. I don't see, Rico Dowdle's in here and this is what is, I just think that right now, man, our running game is
need something.
Yeah, it ain't
you need something.
All right, guys. Fun stuff. Let's get into it on Wednesday as we get closer and closer to the Cowboys.
Hey, Nui, the NFC East is ours, dog.
It's that hopes and dreams.
Man,
let's go.
Gotta let it play out.
Let's go.
Hopes and dreams.
Let's go.
Barry Church, Heckma Harris, Daniel Craig, Louis Scruggs, brought to you by Tostitos.
You should be eating a tasty cake.
Lounge. We'll see you tomorrow right here on DallasCowboys.com.
Yeah.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!